It says that it's recording.
All right, it says it's recording.
Fingers crossed. So,
Okay,
welcome.
Logan, yeah.
Are you able to, let's see. Haley probably has to mute people. So welcome everybody to our, I guess we call it our like Aspiring Diamonds team call. This is exclusive invite only VIP. So pat yourselves on the back for being here with us, and thank you for showing up with us on a Thursday night when it's not normally scheduled. But we just wanted to take this time to really have a little bit of like focused attention on you guys that are really putting in that effort to take your business to the next level. I mean, all of you have qualified to get into that Diamond Empire training and to be on this call. And so now we want to take the time to really kind of talk with you guys. We're going to start the first half kind of being like a Q&A where you guys can just ask questions and pick our brains, and then, you know, the second half I'll come at you with some motivation and some action and all that fun stuff that I love to do. So does anybody have any questions that they want to kind of like get us started with? Anything that you are particularly struggling with, or area that you need advice in?
I have a question.
Go for it.
So, I have started, working on adding to my funnel, but this is where I'm like, I feel a little lost adding these people in, and, like I start these conversations and then they just kind of like fizzle out. Mm-hmm. And I've only been doing like really like adding from my cold market for like a month and a half or 2 months. So I want some advice or guidance. Like, what do I do with these people? Like, how do I keep those conversations going? I feel like every time I make a friends list, it ends up with someone, like a couple of people that post nothing but like sharing stuff, like stupid garbage. Like, I don't want to see all this shit. Right? So that's where I'm lost. Like, how do I not scroll and connect with people?
I have an idea.
Please.
So I gained a lot of momentum with growing or filling my funnel when I created my co-parenting group. I think that a lot of the times when we're adding like a lot of friends, sometimes we're not adding our avatar. And so sometimes like we're stumbling on conversations because maybe they're not your people. And not that like we need to judge if they could benefit from this, but it's sometimes the conversation goes easier when they're your people, right? I would consider, this is just a suggestion, like opening a postpartum depression group, because I don't do anything in my co-parenting group at all. People talk to each other, okay? Literally, like all I do is, like in the beginning, I shared like a post like once a week. Like, so literally, like if you're already talking about it on your social media, share it in the co-parenting group or in the postpartum group. Like, Megan, I have like 800 people in that group. And whenever I need to add people to my funnel, I go request 5 people in that group to add to my Facebook. And then I start talking to them about co-parenting. They're like my people. It's easy to have a conversation with them. Does that make sense? So like, I'm not saying that like you know, like you're not going to find still cold market people that don't necessarily fit that category. But a lot of times, like if you can think about your guys' pillars and start looking for people in those kinds of groups, whether you start that group or whether you join those groups, like those are how you're going to find your people. And those conversations are a lot easier to have when you have those common interests.
So I
like look at Logan.
But I didn't start a group, but I joined a group for people who were due with babies in December. So now we all have babies that are the exact same age. We are all in the trenches and going through the same shit. right now with our kids that are all the exact same age. It's like, oh, your baby's in leap 3, so is mine. Like, let's go grab a glass of wine and talk about it, sort of thing, you know, like they're my people. And they're the people that I'm signing up right now because, I mean, even though I was building those relationships like through the pregnancy, but now everybody's ready to, like, you know, start getting fit because we've all had our babies and stuff. And it's easy because we're friends now. So that's the thing when I do add people and like I start a conversation with them, I never put that pressure on myself to have to turn it into something right away. Like I start the conversation, I start the friendship, and then I just make sure that I'm showing up on their newsfeed frequently so that they know what I'm about. And my sweet spot is anywhere between like 3 to 6 months of them like kind of watching me and seeing what I'm doing, and then a lot of the times they'll end up messaging me and saying like, okay, like tell me a little bit more about this. I mean, I'm not discouraging you from like reaching out and inviting them, but don't feel like you have to carry on a conversation when it's literally like you don't even know like what you need to talk about anymore, you know, because that just gets awkward and feels forced. You can also start, for those of you that don't have like a specific like niche group, like a postpartum depression group like Megan was talking about, start a free group and run a free, you know, we've all done that where you do like a free like sugar detox challenge or a, you know, so it's like that kind of step down from Clean Week, but it's a way to kind of invite people from your friends list or people that you've been talking with and forming relationships with, a way to kind of get them into one place and show them the value of what you have to offer as a coach, whether it's, you know, instant pot recipes or, you know, we've done crock pot groups or I've done salads and squats challenge that people like. So, and we have resources for that kind of stuff too. So that's another thing to consider.
I also have a suggestion. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Megan, have you watched Keisha Embry's Power Pocket video on Beachbody Champions page?
Yeah, I have, and I absolutely loved it, and I try to do that as much as possible.
Yeah. So one thing
I'm like, where I'm getting lost is like I add these people and I don't know how to connect with them in a time efficient manner without scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Like I'm having a hard time finding my people. And so I really think that Leslie's suggestion is probably going to do me the most good.
Yeah, for sure. But one thing I loved that she mentioned that she does for like follow-ups or like with her new people she's talking to is she sends them a message saying, I feel like I need to apologize because I'm getting my next group set up and I realized I never invited you. Would you be interested in doing like my next 30-day group with me? And I loved how she worded it where it was like, oh my gosh, how dare I be having this conversation with you? You're my friend type of thing. And I haven't invited you. So that could, you know, and it may not be your style. That's fine. I don't know that it's mine per se, but I loved how she was like, if I'm having a conversation with somebody, like that's kind of how I take it to that next step. Like I'm ready to invite them. And so that might be something to think about too, you know, as you're getting this free group set up with people, but maybe go to them and be like, oh my gosh.
And Megan, just some like feedback for you because I know you love it, right? Because you do. I love your Instagram stories. I think they're super fun, and I just like want to be your best friend when I watch them, which is like totally the point. Like if you want to be someone's best friend, you're doing a good job. I think you could totally use more soft call to actions in them and like polls and things like breadcrumbing, like inviting people like in your stories. Because if I'm watching it and I already want to be your best friend, then I'm going to want to hang out with you. So come invite me to hang out with you. Do you know what I'm saying? Like give me an opportunity to be your friend. Like I think that you should be utilizing that more because I think you'd be surprised on how many people would respond to like a poll. Like it doesn't have to be about fitness even, you know, and then that's your in to message them and start a conversation with them. What do you think?
Thank you. I appreciate your constructive feedback.
I love you.
I guess, can you guys hear me? I don't know how this thing works.
Hi, Christy. Welcome to the team.
Everybody who doesn't know Christy yet, she is my brand new coach. Christy, what day did you sign up?
I think a week ago.
A week ago today,
Yeah.
or something like that? Yeah.
Yeah.
So Christy has already signed up. Her husband, and was it your mom
Mm-hmm.
that went through this morning? And you were at SC4 for
Mhm.
April already. I mean, you were at, I believe you ended March with SC4. You're
Yeah,
already
and then
at
I
SC4.
lost it all.
She was sad that points don't roll over. I mean, she literally like signed people up the last like 2 days of the month. But I'm really excited that you're on here because you are kind of the epitome of just like starting and taking action. So
Thank you.
ask your question.
Oh, well, I hopped in late, and so I missed kind of what you guys were talking to Megan about. Where was it? How to connect with people? Is what I'm guessing.
Yeah, she was asking kind of how to, like, when you are kind of, we call it filling your funnel, when you are like friend requesting people and just kind of starting to have messages with them. First of all, like, how do you kind of like start these relationships, and then how do you kind of like move the conversation along, like into an invite? And I do like how Haley brought up how Keisha Embry words that in her video, because, and this was a conversation that I had to have with Leslie like forever ago, because she was talking about how she has like all these conversations going, you know, but not quite like getting, you know, to the invite. Or I asked her, I was like, it sounds like your funnel is a little constipated. And like, because you like add people and add people and add people. Don't invite them, then they all just kind of get stuck up here.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Funnel them through. You've been doing it for a week, so don't stress. Like you're doing amazing.
So you try not to add a ton of people every day, just add like to your Facebook or something.
No, I would keep adding, and just making sure that you are inviting at a rate that is like helping move people through. And we've done team calls on how to invite. So I'll go back in the team page and tag you in one, because we've done one fairly recently. One was about inviting as far as like kind of like directly inviting people, and another versus the kind of like indirect way that Leslie was talking about, like through your stories and using polls and just talking about, you know, what we have and letting people know that there is an opportunity to join you, because, you know, we can share our workouts and we can share you know, our food and everything, but if people don't know that this is a thing that they can like link arms with and do it with us and help them through it, then
they're just watching us.
Right. Then they're going to be like, oh, that girl looks really cool doing those workouts on her laptop. I'm going to go set up my own. She mentioned it was called Beachbody On Demand, so I'm going to Google that, and then I'm just going to sign up for it on my own. And I mean, you did Beachbody on your own for a year, right? You didn't have a coach, or I mean, that was your story.
Yeah, because I was just too stubborn. I didn't think I needed one.
Talk about that. That's your story, because you're going to connect with those people that you're going to connect with the girls that did CrossFit and want to admit that they were doing at-home workouts, even though it was more convenient for their crazy mom life, you know? You're going to connect with those people and show them that there is a balance to like having a hot mess mom life while still being able to, you know, get fit and healthy and all of that.
And then I heard about the free groups. Do you like set something up on your Facebook through that? And we can do that on our own, or
you totally can, or you can team up with someone like in the team page. I haven't run a free group I used to run them like every couple months, before Clean Week came out. I haven't done one since Clean Week, but I used to just, what I did was like I created the group, and I think the first one in that group was like a salads and squats challenge or something like that, where I provided like recipes for different salads, and then there was like a squat challenge that you can just like find off of Pinterest, where they do like a certain number of squats per day, and then they just kind of check in and say that they did their thing for the day. And then the next month I think I did like a crock pot one, and I just left that same group up and the people that were in there, and I would just change the name and the cover photo, and we would have like a new group that started the next day. There are templates for groups on Etsy, which I have invested in a few of them. They're really, I mean, for like, I don't know, 30 or 40 bucks or something, you can get a template for a group that gives you all of the images and all of the wording and like,
oh nice, yeah, I need that
because like I don't have time to create all that content myself for every single group that I run. So I love those. If you just type in like Beachbody Coach into like an Etsy search, a lot of stuff.
Perfect, thank you.
Spend a lot of money. But yeah, they're super helpful. So that's an idea too. You can either do them on your own or team up with a couple people in the that are in the team page that would maybe be interested in doing it, and just kind of get your feet wet. It's just a way to kind of connect with people, and people are willing to join those because there's no strings attached, and it's free. And then it's a way to then you can kind of talk about like when the next Clean Week group is coming up, you can go in there and, you know, and invite people to that, you know, and kind of like funnel them along, you know, higher up and get them a little bit more invested in what we have to offer and stuff.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So yeah, people like free.
Exactly.
So I was going to share kind of like how I add people and sort of try to keep track of them so that I'm not just scrolling. And I am part of some groups, and I have formed relationships with those people and friended them and stuff and started conversations. But a lot of times what I'll do, especially like with Instagram, is I will go to my followers list or the people that I'm following and, you know, click on a person that's my avatar, and then I'll go to their page and I'll click on one of their photos that is something that I would like. If it's a picture of their kid, if it's like a hot mess mom moment or whatever it is, like I'll click on there and see who's liked it. And then I go through and see if any of those people are my people too, that I could relate to. Like I'll go and look at their page, and it gets pretty quick once you do it. A few times, like you can sit there and add, you know, 5 to 10 people in, you know, 10, 15 minutes. Cause Instagram's nice like that, where you can just scroll through and look at their feed. Sometimes they're private. If their page is private and we have quite a few mutual friends, you know, maybe 10 or more, or even 5 or more, sometimes I'll add them anyways. And not all of them are gonna, you know, respond to your request or like let you follow them, which is totally fine. And not all of them are gonna follow you back right away. But it's when you, let's say their page is public and you add them, going and love bombing on their photos and like commenting and, you know, saying, oh my gosh, my son did the same thing today, or totally been there, mama, like I totally feel you, or whatever it is, like commenting on a couple of their things, liking 2 or 3 of their posts. And that usually will get a follow back a lot of times. And like I said, if you add 10, 15 friends on Instagram and only 2 or 3 follow you back, hey, that's 2 or 3 more people that are going to be your people that are following you, watching you, seeing your stuff when you're showing up consistently. And then you have that list of those people that have added you, that have followed you back. And those are the people that you're going to want to make sure that you're continuing to engage with their posts. And I don't scroll through Instagram and look for their name. I go directly to their page and go and look at their photos. And that saves me a lot of time rather than just scrolling, looking for those people on my list. I'd go just right to their page, love bomb, next person, go to their page, love bomb, see if they have stories. Stories are huge with starting a conversation. It's a super easy, like very genuine, way to start talking to people, like by responding to their story. And if they're not following you yet from you love bombing on their page, but you respond to their story, that's another way for them to start following you back and seeing that, oh, like she's talking to me and, I want to see what she's about. So that's one way I do it with Instagram. Facebook is kind of similar. Like I look at mutual friends a lot and see who I have mutual friends with and see if it's somebody that, I feel like might be my person. Like if they have kids, if they're a teacher, I'm a former teacher. And so a lot of times I will friend request them because we have something in common that we can talk about. And if you don't really get this with Instagram because Instagram is different, but if you get the message from Facebook from a person you friend requested that's like, hey, I saw you sent me a friend request. Do I know you? And you're like, like it's kind of like that, like just awkward, like I'll just message them back and be like, hey, yeah, I saw we had a bunch of mutual friends and I saw that you are going to school for teaching and I used to be a teacher. So I thought it'd be fun to shoot you a request because I love making new friends that have similar interests, and just keep it super light. And then they're usually like, oh, sweet. Like, yeah, I did see we had, so-and-so as a friend or whatever. Because you genuinely want to get to know them and you genuinely do have similar interests and, want to follow each other. So that's just kind of one way that I do it, and keep track of those people as like kind of that running list. And again, I don't scroll Instagram for those people. I go directly to their page, and same thing with Facebook.
You can even on Instagram, you can set up a notification that it'll like buzz your phone when that person posts. So you can like get a notification and go like love bomb them. Like if you don't have your list like on you, reminding you to do that. So avatar is you, like who you were before you started. So when you create that list of like all the 10 or more things of who you were before Beachbody and then kind of like who you've become, you want to try and craft your posts to speak to that person that you were before you started. So I was postpartum from baby number 2. I had a boy and a girl. They were toddlers. I was a nurse. I was burnt out and wanted to be healthy, but just didn't have the energy. I was like investing every second of myself into my family and not taking care of myself. I was Jordan. Jordan's my avatar. In case anyone didn't notice that. So Jordan, mom of 2, nurse, lonely, like needed friends, like that was, I mean, she is like one of the closest that I've gotten to my avatar. So you want to get as specific as possible. And I've had people, when I create my posts and use like such specific details of how I felt and how my life was before I started, down to like the fact that my nutrition consisted of like eating Lucy's leftover peanut butter and jelly sandwich crusts because I didn't have time to make myself food. Like I've had people message me and say like, oh my God, like I felt like you were talking directly to me. And that's what you want to do, because you want to show them what can become, what they can turn into by like, you know, the wonderful life that you're living now. So get specific with what your struggles were before, and then take them through that journey into how you feel now. You know, Bonnie, there are so many teachers out there that are going to relate to your story, and just that tug that you have in your heart for loving teaching and loving your kids, but needing something a little bit more, you know? There are so many people out there that, yeah, see, exactly. You're going to write that and they're going to read it, and it's going to be that gut punch, and that's what they need, you know? They're the people that just might be going to bed with a heavy heart every night, knowing that they're going to get up the next day and it's just going to be the same grind, like over and over until when can you like finally retire? Like when does it end, you know? But you get to show them that there's something more, that we have something more to offer. And whether, you know, it's just feeling better on the inside and looking better on the outside with your health and fitness, or, you know, having the business opportunity to create an impact, because like that's why you become a teacher, to create an impact, to have an impact on lives. That's why I became a nurse, you know, like, and I'm still impacting lives. I'm just not doing it in the hospital anymore. I'm doing it on a little bit bigger scale that doesn't have a paycheck ceiling on me anymore. So try and be as specific as you can when you're like creating those posts, especially when you're talking about coaching. Like, talk about the blessing that coaching has brought to your life, as far as it doesn't even have to be monetary right now. Like, don't feel like you have to be making $1,000 a week before you can talk about, you know, the gift that coaching has given to your life, whether it's just the increased accountability for fitness, or the friendships, or, you know, the whatever. Like, it doesn't have to be tied to whatever you're making paycheck wise, but because people need everything that we have to offer: the fitness, the nutrition, the accountability, the friends, the income, like the travel, the, you know, the trips that we're going to go on. Talk about how you're so excited for Summit and how you're going to fly across the country to go hang out with a bunch of people that you've never met before, but you've like never been so excited. Like, all of that, you know? I know it's scary though.
The exercises we did at like I think it was our very first Super Saturday we went to, was they had us write a list, or actually on our way home we did this, where you wrote 10, you know, different feelings of the way that you felt before starting Beachbody, and 10 how you feel now. So like comparing those, and, you know, that's sort of breadcrumbing, like choosing one of those comparisons to write about in a post. So for example, one of mine could have been that I, you know, didn't have energy to play with my kids, and now I like give horsey back rides all the time and things like that. And then sort of just talking about how you felt before. Like, I felt like I wasn't being the best mom that I could be because I wasn't playing with my kids. I rather sit on the couch and watch TV and watch them play, and that made me feel shitty. And, you know, now I enjoy playing with them and I have the energy to play with them, and I love their little giggles when I, you know, give them those little horsey back rides that I never would have been able to because I was overweight and, you know, couldn't get up off the ground, let alone get down on it. And, you know, there's a post right there, and other moms can relate to that. And same thing like with teaching, like you can talk about how, you know, before with teaching, like, yes, it is amazing that you're impacting these lives, but teaching can also be very isolating when you're in a classroom by yourself with all these little children. And, you know, you don't get to interact with the adults as much. And having our tribe is just, that community is amazing, being able to sort of have an outlet to make these friendships and, you know, and meet new people and be able to sort of like step out of the teacher box for a quick minute, because it can be very overwhelming, you know, just talking to 6-year-olds all day.
Bonnie, do you mind like speaking to like why it's scary, like what the fear is? Because I think that you're probably not alone in that, and saying it out loud might help other people.
Yeah, I think it's a fear of ridicule by other teachers. my teacher friends, the judgment of, well, this is what you're doing. Why would you even think about doing something else? Like, how dare you? And I don't know if you guys, I'm in Arizona and it's a hot frickin' mess right now with education, and everybody's all up in arms and like wanting to walk out and strike and all this like drama stuff. And like, it just stresses me out to think that like, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I don't want, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to like, because I do, I love to teach, but it's just, I want more.
I think Logan can totally relate. Yeah. I was like, that's so Logan. Logan just said those words.
Yeah. And it was a big part of why I like didn't really voice to everybody that I had a desire to leave working in the hospital and be home with the kids. Number one, because I have coworkers that are teammates and, you know, they're discount coaches, but they're in the team page and, you know, they're in the challenge groups. And I didn't want any of them to feel like, and it's stupid. Like I didn't want any of them to, you know, judge me for not working there anymore, or to feel like I didn't love them because I didn't work there anymore. And because that's like a big thing, like I want everybody to like me, you know, and I like skated through 6 years on a, you know, primarily female unit, being labor and delivery, and it can be hard to avoid the drama in those kind of units where you literally work with women like all day. And I was one of the few people on the unit who was like literally able to skate by and be friends with everybody. And so I don't like to like be the one that people are talking about or anything like that. Like I just like to keep the peace but I just like had to get to the point where I was like, what they think about me is not as important as what is in my heart for my family. And I get so much more joy with coaching, really, than I did when I was working as a nurse. And it sounds like, you know, you would think that being a labor and delivery nurse is like the happiest fucking job in the whole world. Sorry for you guys with kids. And like, I can't tell you how many days I would just get into my car after a shift and just cry because someone came in and I was the nurse that had to help them through the fact that their baby didn't have a heartbeat anymore. Or I had to be the one to take the baby out of the woman's arms because she came in high on meth, and I had to be the one to take the baby down to the nursery so that CPS could come and get involved. And it was just so many days like that were just breaking me on the inside and taking the joy out of what I was doing. And I got to the point where I was dreading the days that I would have to go to work, and I would be so excited on the days that I was home, and not just because I didn't have to go to work, but so that I could coach and plug in with positive people that were like there to lift me up, like when I was feeling bad, you know, like it was just a different environment. And I just got to the point where I had to remove myself from the thing that was kind of weighing me down, because I needed to do that for me, not for other people's, you know, expectations of, you know, what I should do. You know, I was worried about what my parents were going to think. Like, I went to school for so long to get this degree, and now I'm not going to use it. Like, and I know Haley, like, relates to that big time. She's a physical therapist. Jessica is a retired veterinarian. Yeah, Renee's a retired teacher. I'm a retired nurse. Like, we all have these very prestigious degrees that people, like, know and understand and can identify, like, oh, you're a physical therapist, like I understand that job, or you're a nurse, or you're a teacher. People don't understand like what exactly it is we do, you know, but that's up to us to remove that stigma and to teach them and to show them what we do and to be that light in people's lives. Because like you hear about people complaining about how social media is so negative and like blah, blah, blah. And I don't know what those people are talking about, because when I get on Facebook, it's all happy and like challenge groups and everyone's like excited and having a good day and just positive. And like, that's what I want my life to be like all the time. Like it's up to me to just make that choice to remove myself from the negativity and pour myself into the things that like lift me up and fill my cup. You know, I get the struggle, believe me, like 100,000% get it. It's just that mental shift that you have to make where you decide that you're going to go for it and like put 2 feet in. And going to Summit was my shift. Honestly, it was going to my first Summit was my big mental shift, because I remember walking that first night of opening ceremonies, walking out like to the stage, because when you're a 1-star diamond and above, you get to walk out like on stage, and they give you this flag, like for whatever your rank is, and you get to walk across this giant stage in front of like thousands of people and wave your flag and be like so happy. And I just remember walking out with my flag, and I was crying because I was like, how did I get from being so broken and sad and just lost last year to here I am with this incredible community and these people that are celebrating me and like lifting me up, and like I'm being celebrated. And it's been like 9 months like since I started. Like, how did I get from there to here in like such a short amount of time? And it was that mental shift that finally got me to be like, this is it. Like, this is my path, you know? And really just decide to go for it. And that's what we need to let people know about. Like, we have to tell people, like, that's kind of like the point of this call and this, because all of you guys are on here because you're at that point where you are ready to add coaches to your team, right? And to get your coaches, start adding coaches, because you're ready to make a business of this and start acting like a CEO, right? And the difference, the only difference that you have to do is just to make that mental shift to just do it and to stop letting what everybody else and their dog is going to think about you. Because who the heck cares? If it's someone that really like gives a shit about what I'm doing, I'm probably not even going to be talking to them in 10 years. So like, what's it matter? And I've had people that are, you know, like family or cousins or whatever that are like, you know, judgmental about what it is that I do. And that's fine, because guess who's super happy and confident with her life right now? It doesn't matter. So I have a little video. Yeah, Jordan's brother deleted her like from social media. I mean, she's still keeping on. I'm going to show you guys a video really quick that is a good little speech. So hopefully I can screen share and it will come through okay. Can you guys see YouTube on my screen? Okay.
I believe desire and will to win is everything. I don't know why I'm like I am, but my butt's always burning. There's always something say, Art, dadgummit, you're supposed to go for it. Art, dadgummit, you're supposed to be somebody. You're supposed to make a difference with your life. What does the $500,000 a year person do? The $50,000 a year person doesn't do. You look at the outside and study those two individuals, everything seems to be the same. They both are the same sex. They both are the same age. They have the same training, the same positions, the same contract, the same fringe benefits. They both are successful. They work hard. They're good family people, make tough commitments. But what's the difference? What does the $500,000 a year person do? The $50,000 a year person doesn't do. He pays the price and a little bit more. He works hard and a little bit more. He's loyal to the company and a little bit more. He bleeds and a little bit more. He makes money and a little bit more. He saves money and a little bit more. If you want to win in these United States, you got to be tough and you can't quit. The last thing I'll talk to you about today in building this winning edge is, folks, if you want to win in business, you got to be a leader. Leadership is everything. You show me anything in these United States that win, I'll show you a leader at work. You show me a successful church, Boy Scout troop, club, football team, business, I'll show you something run by a leader. See, I thought at one time in my life you had to be smart to win. I used to have these smart people that dress so pretty and talk so pretty and use these big words. They just intimidated me. And I said, Art, you can't ever be that good. Why don't you just throw in the towel and go back and coach football for a living? And I found two things out about smart people. I think it's almost impossible for a smart person to win in business in America today. Because I find smart people spend their whole lifetime figuring things out. They're always trying to figure out an easier way and a quicker way. And another thing I found out about smart people is they just don't get around to doing nothing. And see, somebody like Art Williams, everybody said, well, he can't do it. And somebody like that can't do it. But he does it. See, folks, I want you to know almost everybody in America almost does enough to win. They almost get there. They almost are over the hump. They almost have it going. They almost in everything they do, almost is a way of life to almost everybody in America. But the winners do it. What do? They do whatever it takes to get the job done. They do it and do it and do it and do it and do it until the job gets done. And then they talk about how great it is to be somebody they're proud of. We need leaders in America who can do it. If you want to become somebody, do it. If you want to go in business for yourself, do it. If you want to become financially independent, do it. I hear too much talk in these United States. Everybody can talk a good game. We need people in America who can do it. I go all over this country with A.L. Williams, and I have people say, Art, you can count on me. Wonderful. Just do it. Art, I guarantee you this is my last stop. I'm going to win now. Super duper. Just do it. Art, if I could just have one good month and get the ball going, I know I could make it big. Super. Just do it. Art, if I could just pay off this debt, I could really go. Great. Just do it. Art, if I could just sell my house. Do it. But houses ain't selling. Do it anyway. Art, I'm not making any money. What can I do? You just do it. Do what, Art? You do it and do it and do it. Art, I guarantee I'm going to win this contest. Super duper. Just do it. Art, I'm over the hump now. Watch my smoke. Great. Just do it. Art, I want to make it so bad I can taste it. What I do? You just do it. Art, I'm a vice president now. Can I quit doing it? No. Art, I don't know if I can keep on keeping on. I'm really hurting what I do. You just do it. Do what, Art? You do it and do it and do it. Art, all my life I wanted to be somebody important. Well, what do it then? Art, I'm going to save money so I don't have to go through this again. Great. Just do it. Art, I don't feel like I've had enough training. What I do? You just do it. Art, my manager don't give me no help. What I do? You just do it. Art, you don't understand. I was Mr. Everything in my former company. You don't mean I have to start off down at the bottom and do it, do you? Yep, you really got to do it. Art, what's the primary difference between winners and losers? The winners do it. They do it and do it and do it and do it until the job gets done. And then they talk about how great it is to finally have achieved something unique. And how glad they are that they didn't quit like everybody else. And how wonderful it is to finally be somebody they're proud of and make a difference with their life. Thank you.
That's it. You do it. That is the only defining how did I get to where I am, despite the self-doubt, despite the criticism, despite the skepticism, despite the pregnancy from hell that I couldn't even like get out of bed for 4 months. Like, how do you build a fitness business when you can't work out or when you don't have a transformation? You just do it. You figure out a way to do it. So you guys are part of a like super wealthy team family. I mean, we might not be like superstar diamonds yet, but we have so many resources and trainings and videos and like, not to mention Google and YouTube. But this is the thing that I fear. We have so many resources that you can fall into the trap where you collect and you collect and you collect, because there is so much in terms of training and videos that you're not being resourceful with them. So we have scripts for like literally every single kind of conversation that you can have with somebody, every possible scenario. And you can tweak them and like make them your own, but it doesn't do anything for you if you don't use them. If you just let the script sit there and say like, I'm not ready yet, or I don't have a transformation yet, you keep collecting resources until you're finally ready. But it's like, when are you going to get to the point where you are like actually ready? There's no like defining moment where something's going to like slap you across the face and you're going to be ready. You just have to rip off the Band-Aid and make the choice that now is now. So, you know, I know you guys are scared about what people at work might think or what your family might say, and you let it hold you back. And so this is like, I already talked about this a little bit, but the thing that like really helps me kind of push through that fear is like, I imagine the scenario if Lucy was coming to me with something that she was excited and passionate about. Like, what would my response be? Would I tell her that like, well, like, I don't know, honey, like, I'm not sure like what people are going to think about that or what the kids at school might say, so probably not a good idea? Or am I going to tell her to like follow her fucking dreams and encourage her to dream big and do big, incredible, scary things? You know, like, I would never tell her to hold herself back and give in to those fears. And so I can't do that for myself, because it's up to me to set the pace for, you know, showing my kids that they are allowed to dream big and achieve incredible things. And as one of the leaders of the team, like, I try really hard to set the pace and show you guys like what is capable. And like, Haley didn't come to me in, you know, 2016 or whatever and be like, hey, Logan, you're going to be a leader on the team now. Like, she didn't tell me that I was going to become a leader or that I'm now appointed a leader. Like, I just did it. I just decided that I was going to do it. And I figured it out along the way. So it's not about like how many resources you have, but it's about your resourcefulness and what you do with the resources. So there are some people on this call that have signed like multiple coaches this week, and you're like this close to diamond. And it's because they just did it. Like, they just put that fear aside and they asked the question, have you ever considered coaching? If you don't ask it, like 90% of the time, the answer is going to be no, if you don't ask the question. So go back and invite every single challenger that you've ever had to coaching. Go and invite your family. Sign up your spouse if you have not done that yet. Invite your mom and dad and your brothers and sisters. Invite your best friends. Talk about coaching in your social media, because if you do not talk about it, people are not going to know that they can do it with you. And I don't mean talk about it once a month. I mean talk about it at least 3 times a week. So take the limitations off of yourself and think about what kind of people you want to attract to your team? What do you want your coaches to do? Like, do you want your coaches that you're going to start attracting? Do you want them to like collect information and sit on it and not really take a lot of action with it? Or do you want them to push their fears aside and take a leap of faith and start sharing? Do you want them to work for 3 years on a physical transformation? Because when do we ever decide that we're kind of at our like peak transformation? Besides Haley, she doesn't count. But like, just kidding. But like, you know, like the whole thing is just a long journey, and there's never any point where you're ready or your transformation is good enough to start sharing. Just start sharing now, because you have a huge team to catch you if you stumble and fall, okay? You don't have to know the answer to everything. You can invite people to coaching without totally knowing how to even be a coach. Like, you guys can figure it out together. And us leaders, like, we have fallen flat on our faces. Raise your hand if you have fallen flat on your face and you needed the team to help pick you back up and dust yourself off. And by leaning into each other, like, that's how we've gotten to become the leaders of this team and where we've gotten to today, like a retired physical therapist, a retired veterinarian, a retired nurse, a retired teacher, a retired photographer. Jordan is going to be a retired nurse. So you guys you can't hold back this blessing that we have to people. I know that it's scary inviting to coaching. I did a call on this a couple weeks ago. I know that inviting to coaching is like the scariest thing out of like everything that we do. But you might not know all the ways that coaching can really change someone's life yet. But like, I had so many changes in my life for me before my income like caught up to, you know, where I felt like I was like really doing something. Like, I was a lonely stay-at-home mom who craved the like female friendships that I have now. Those, you know, the tribe, you're like ride or die people. Like, I needed that. And that was one of the first things that I got through coaching. And, you know, coaching helped me feel alive again. I felt like I had a purpose and a calling outside of just being a mom. And like, I love being a mom. Being a mom is like the best thing like of my life. But I needed that little something more that was mine, you know? Like, the more and more I stepped back from nursing and didn't fit that like nurse like title anymore, I needed something that was mine that I could like invest into. And for me, that was coaching. And, you know, it helped me with my fitness journey, helped me feel like I was part of something bigger than myself. Like, I was still making a difference in the world, even though I was just at home and breastfeeding and wiping little booties all day. But I wanted to show my kids what it felt like to be a dreamer and to be a doer. You know, it took one person to reach out and invite me to coaching. And even though she doesn't coach anymore, she changed my life. And like, what would our team look like if she'd never invited me? What would all of your guys, I mean, because a lot of you have joined because of either me or someone in my downline. And same with Haley. Like, if Haley hadn't invited my coach, like, where would all of us on this call be right now? What would our lives look at? What if my coach had just assumed that I was one of those cricket challengers, that because I never posted anything in the challenge group, and she just kind of wrote me off because she figured that I wasn't into it? But instead, she invited me to coaching, and she changed my life. She helped me become healthier and happier than I've ever been. She gave me a business opportunity that has allowed me to retire and be home with my kids. You guys get to be that person for somebody else. I don't know who that other person like is going to be that you're going to invite, that you're going to impact on that scale someday, but you get to be that person for somebody. And when I checked this morning, my downline was at 499 coaches, and I am like itching for that 500. So someone please sign up someone so that we get to 500, because I've been watching it for days. It's staying at 499, but like 499 people because Blair invited me. Like, and that's just coaches. That's not customers and challengers and things like that. So like, you get to be that person for somebody, and you might be the only person that believes in that person, that gives them that sense of hope that they get to do something incredible with their life. So you are part of a, like I said, you're part of a very rich, wealthy family with lots of resources and knowledge, and so you're inviting them into something incredible. We're not just inviting them into, hi, I'm in a big like motivational speech right now, and you're kind of like throwing me off a little bit. Hold on, I gotta fix this toy for him really quick.
Mom life / coach life. The beauty of coaching. It's okay to get interrupted.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. So we have the trainings and the scripts and everything that you need, and I worry that it does you a disservice because I don't want you to feel like you have to learn and know everything before you get started. I didn't know anything when I got started. I just started. I learned everything that I know through coaching just through action. So write down a list of all of the non-material things that Beachbody has brought to your life, whether it is a physical transformation, or you're off of blood pressure medicine, or you have found your best friend that you never would have met otherwise. Jordan, you need to be clear on everything that you have to offer people when you talk to them about coaching, beyond whatever the income is that you're making right now, okay? So, some questions for you to audit yourself. Have you signed up your spouse? If you have, then check. Have you signed up your parents? Have you signed up your brothers and sisters? Or invited them at least. Your in-laws, your cousins, your best friend. Have you made your list of 100? Do not skip that step. Do not skip it. Have you created your dream team list? I went over how to create your dream team list on that team call a couple weeks ago. Do we have that one uploaded to the team page yet? The how to invite to the coaching opportunity? I can't remember if I've seen that one pop up in the page.
No, we do not.
Okay.
No, we do not. Because I wasn't there, and I was gonna watch it, and I meant to remind you, and I forgot.
So we will get that uploaded if you haven't seen that video, because I give very specific steps on how to create your dream team list. And then you don't just make the list, you go invite the people because they're on that list for a reason. Okay. Leslie was on my list. Megan was on my list, but I was too scared to invite her, but luckily she came around. Bonnie was on my list. Renee was on my list. Like, you guys, like, the people that are on that list, they're on there like for a reason, you know, because they do incredible things when you put this opportunity in front of them. Okay. So when you're inviting these people, like if you can't do it face to face or like on the phone, then send a little video or a voice message that allows your passion and your heart to come through, because people are going to connect with you on a deeper level. You know, let them know, like, my coach is starting a new coach mentorship on Monday, and I think you would be incredible at this, and I would love it if you would do this with me. You don't have to overcomplicate it. So you just have to go and share your heart, stop collecting all the information, and just start spreading the love with people, because you love being on here for a reason. So why would your friends and family not want to be part of this as well? you know. Okay, someone else can talk now, unless you guys felt like that was good, or if anyone has any questions.
I just had a quick question. So we're trying to build tie, obviously, and, you know, signing up me, you know, as yourself, you sign up your spouse and your parents, whatever. What is the best path people to sign up for him, under him, when he wants to become a builder as well eventually?
Oh, that's a good question.
The people that I used to get my spouse to Emerald was his brother and another family. Like, they were still family members. So there were family members at the top of his legs too. So if you have any family members left.
Well, we do. And his parents are on Shaco, but they're like sharing a bag. And so it's like lasting them a month and a half. And so I'm kind of just like holding off, waiting until they are ready to sign up so I can put them on one of his legs. But I feel like I'm in limbo because that's all that I need is those 2 emeralds. But I'm in this holding block of waiting. That it's so frustrating, but I know that those are the people that I want to hit the top of his legs, right? The closest people to him, rather than just some random people.
It doesn't,
Yeah,
totally,
one person's not going to make or break it, you know, like.
Yeah.
I have my father-in-law under one of Levi's legs, and then the other person, of course I kicked myself for putting her there later, but I needed her there to be Emerald, is Amy Fernandez, and she's, you know, going to be Diamond before we know, and so, you know, she'll technically be a Diamond under Levi, but like it's still really good for volume, and still, like, there's no, you know, so yeah, we love you, Amy.
I
Don't overcomplicate it though.
Yeah, Jen, I think most of us bill our husbands with, after hitting Success Club, put the next person under our husband. And then hit Success Club the next month, and then put someone under our husband. And, like, build them that way.
Sorry, I didn't know I was unmuted.
No, you're fine.
That's my holding block. I'm struggling myself just to hit SC as it is every month. And so it's like, knowing that I struggle as it is to hit SC, I'm like, well, what's more important? I know it's more important for me to hit SC, but I know that it's important for me to build him as well. So it's like, it's this constant battle internally with myself and my own business. And
well, if Ty wants to be a builder, then he needs to start inviting people.
I'm trying to tell him, and he will do it, but then, like, and I'll tell him what he should say, and then he hits like roadblocks, you know, and
he needs to like talk to us about them. Like, he needs to like hash them out with us and stuff. Like, we need to get that guy to open up and talk to us about it.
That's the key thing, is getting that guy to open up.
Is he doing TV? My infamous question: is he doing personal development?
What book for him? Any good starting books for him? Because he does like to read. He will read. It's just, I mean, obviously I can't tell him, girl, wash
Compound effects.
Yeah, the 10X. I'll ask Brock. Brock is a PD junkie. I'll ask him what one of his favorites is.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. There's one he's reading right now that he really, really likes. I'm trying to think of what it is.
Can I back him in a corner this weekend?
Go for it.
I'll hash it out.
Stands up to you though, so
I'll hash it out with him.
Okay.
All right. Well, if we don't have any more questions, thanks, Logan, so much for sharing. Yes,
Sorry.
Bonnie.
Sorry. Where's my hand? Totally random question. Because the lighting in my room sucks. What do I do?
Get what Logan's about to show you.
Daylight light bulbs.
Okay.
Daylight light bulbs. Melanie Mitro replaced all her light bulbs in her house with daylight light bulbs.
Daylight light bulbs, and then Logan and Jordan, what are those things? Does it on Amazon? Can I order it?
You can get one of these for your Instagram stories. It just clips to your desk. These
It was
are
like super cheap too.
$20.
Yeah, it was like super cheap.
These are the way to go because those giant things are like 120 some bucks.
Yeah, I'm a teacher.
Yeah. So get one of these. They're only $20.
On Amazon?
Yeah.
Amazon?
Okay.
What's it called?
I can post the link in the page.
Yeah, we can share the link.
Thanks, friends.
The first time I was on a call using this, like Haley texted me on the side and she was like, what kind of light do you have on you?
I was like,
Remember
why
when
are
the
you
first time
glowing?
you used it? I was like, are you using your new light?
But that is an important question, Bonnie. So it's not stupid.
All about how I look.
I have one that's actually, it clicks to my phone, but I never have it charged, so I couldn't even tell you if it's good or not.
Yeah, this is a phone one.
Yeah. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. I know we've kind of had like an overhaul of calls here next week and things like that. But I think coming together and like working together as a team is something that we have really figured out works really well for us. And so I'm so thankful that you guys took the time to be with us tonight. We're so excited that you guys are excited to move your businesses forward, and doing it together is so much fun. So I hope you take Logan's action items and do that. Like, go talk to all your current challengers, go talk to your family members, go talk to your best friend, get those people on board. One thing I want to say is, yeah, we're a week out from our qualification date for like a retreat and things like that. We're still a week out, you guys. That's 7 days. A lot can happen in 7 days, but that means you got to talk to people. That means you can't just sit back and wait for people to come to you. This might be a little season of push, a little season of putting a little bit more time into it if this is what you want. And so please, please, please reach out to us with your questions, post in the team page. Like, that is what we are here for. We want to make sure that we are doing what we can do to help you reach those goals. Christy, the new coach mentorship. Oh yeah, it's a training group next week. Yeah. Logan.
Okay. Because you said we could for inviting other coaches onto our team, that we could say, you know, oh, this new coach mentorship with me.
Yeah.
Is that on Facebook or?
Yeah, we'll post the group to that pretty soon.
Oh, okay.
We're kind of cleaning out some old information.
Is it like that sneak peek that I did, Logan? I guess it was last week, or a different?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the mentorship will be for people who have actually like signed up like as coaches.
Okay.
If they are wanting to learn more about like what we do as coaches, then plug them into that What is Coaching event that you were in.
Yeah, and they can go back and watch those videos.
We won't take those videos down till.
Oh, okay. So they can join that. Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. You can add them in there so they can watch the videos on their time, and then you can check in with them. And
oh, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
I've got someone on the fence, so that would be.
Yeah, plug her in. But I just want to encourage you guys not to take your foot off the brake or the gas. Don't put your foot on the brake yet, you guys. Don't take your foot off the gas. Keep going. Let us know how we can help you, and just do it. I wish I could say it in his accent, but I think I would sound not like I had an accent. But anyway, I'm so excited for you guys, and I'm excited for the team, and I hope you guys are having fun along the way. Don't forget to have fun.
Quick question, sorry.
Oh no, don't be sorry.
So I've been waiting for like probably 3 or 4 weeks. I have everyone built up except for one girl under me needs one more person. And so I'm like, should I just hurry up and sign up one of my family members and build them so that I can hit diamond, or should I just wait? I'm so frustrated.
Is she sharing on her social media?
She's been doing better. She's definitely came out of her comfort zone, and she's starting to share more. And I mean, she's super into all of it, but she's actually reaching out to people. But
Is she on your weak leg or your team leg?
She's on my, oh my God, my left leg.
Renee?
So James is on your team leg, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's on your weak leg.
Yeah.
So she just needs one more coach to go Emerald.
Who does she have signed up? Does she have a friend signed up?
She has a friend signed up, and I've mentioned having her
Then her
fiance
husband.
signed up, and she's just kind of beating around.
If she's on your weak leg and you have a family member that you think will sign up that you can put coaches under, then go ahead and do it. Then you'll have 2 builders on that side. Who cares? Like, I mean, if it was on your team leg, I'd say not do it because, you know what I mean? Why put a builder over there right now if you don't need it? But if it's on your weak leg and you have a family member that you think you could build under, why not?
Okay.
I mean, you're going to cycle more in your, you know what I mean? It's not just for the retreat, girl. I mean, it's going to help your paychecks, you know?
For sure.
Okay.
So, not everybody has the family members that are willing to sign up. So,
Well, no, I mean, I've asked my dad, and he's like, yeah, well, if you want me to sign up, I'll sign up. But I don't know if he'd actually use the stuff and follow through with it, so I've just put it off, I guess.
well, the nice thing about a parent is that you don't even have to use this card. You could use your card.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I was wondering too. So
And you can get you can set them up tomorrow, get some beach bars coming through that account.
Ah.
Enough volume to
Okay.
keep them active. The new Beachbody bars, because
Okay.
I'm sure most of us are going to order those anyways. So that's a perfect sort of thing to order through his account so that you're not necessarily stockpiling Shakeology if you don't think he's going to drink it. So
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if your dad's ready or willing, I would say that's a for sure, girl.
Okay. I don't know why I put it off. I guess everyone else.
You would just need to enroll him under her as her coach.
No. She's
No.
saying have additional builders.
No, she needs Sarah to go Emerald.
No, she's
We-
saying sign up her dad and then put 2 coaches under her dad.
Oh, gotcha.
make
Okay.
your dad.
Don't give your dad away.
Don't put your dad under.
Don't do that.
I was like, Renee.
Talking about putting him under Sarah to get her
Should I
Emerald.
just
And I'm
give her
like,
one of my people or what?
yeah.
Don't give your people away, especially
No.
your family members.
Don't ever do that.
Oh man. Okay, you guys.
That was a great question, Ashley.
Yes.
Thanks.
All
I
right,
feel
you
stupid.
guys.
Bye.
You guys have a great night.
Good night.
Bye.